Hi, Jack. Thank you so much for coming to the Founder Talk. How's it going?
Hi, Max. Thanks for having me. It's going great. Thanks.
My pleasure. Thank you for coming. So, let's give an introduction to yourself and after we move to business.
All right. So, yeah, my name is Jaakko Timonen. I'm the co founder and CEO of No No No, uh, hailing from Finland. And yeah, that's it, the short introduction.
Let's go to no, no, no. That's a
Yeah,
name. The name says already a lot.
yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, so we're building a consumer advocacy platform, and we call this Rapid Response Complaint Resolution. Um, In the US market, many people still call customer service when they have a problem with a business, and the average time on hold is 42 minutes. And then you typically get to talk to somebody in Philippines or India. You can also discuss with chatbots, but they fail to resolve 75% of complex issues and sometimes even some of the more simple ones. And because of this, 22% of Americans say that they would rather spend a night in jail instead of contacting customer service. And our vision is to create a service that you can use to resolve any issue with any business worldwide. And we also want to show you which businesses you can trust if something goes wrong. And how does it work? When you have a complaint, you go to nonono.com and you file a public complaint for a small fee. And then we escalate your complaint straight to the corporate office complaint department. So we bypass the frontline customer service for you. And then after your issue has been resolved, you rate and review the outcome of the resolution, which also means that the business has a fair opportunity to fix the issue before they get rated. And this creates new data for all the stakeholders in the market. And we have a business model that is designed with product led growth. People find us organically on Google. Why? Well, as I mentioned, the complaints are public on our website and the resolution reviews are public on our website. And that's user generated content that drives our rankings on Google. And consumers have no risk to use our service because if they are not happy for whatever reason, we are always happy to give them full 100% refund. We get through the doors. We have been able to help customers of the biggest businesses in the world like Walmart, Tesla, Costco, you name it. Our compounding monthly revenue growth rate has been 28% over 18 months. We pivoted from a B2B business model to B2C in April last year and starting from zero. And now we have almost 4,000 customers, and our revenue last month was $4,111. And this is all organic, $0 spent on paid acquisition. Timing is pretty good because businesses are closing their call centers and outsourcing their customer service to overseas locations, which is why the customer range is at an all-time high level in the US. The market is growing. If we look at people who file complaints through state channels or government channels or who write negative reviews, we have almost 80 million people in the US. And if we look at Better Business Bureau only, they have 1.25 million customers in terms of consumers. And the number of complaints they file is growing almost 10% on an annual basis, even though Better Business Bureau is considered to be the boomer Yelp. It's not exactly popular with younger people. But why we believe this market is even bigger is that most people don't even bother complaining when they have an issue. And even those people who are able to resolve their issue are not satisfied with the resolution because only 21% of people are happy with the resolution they get. Then if we look at the competition, we have some services in the US that help you resolve your issue like Fair Claims, Fair Shake, and Do Not Pay, but they don't give you any information, any reviews about which businesses you can trust. Then you have some review websites, but they don't tell you which businesses you can trust if something goes wrong. And most importantly, they don't help you if you need to resolve an issue because they don't escalate complaints. And we do both. We are at the intersection of resolution and reviews. And we have a brilliant team. Our front end developer has been working for Facebook, Uber, and Google. Our back end developer has built secure backends for hospitals. We have customer engagement person who has been coaching hundreds of startup teams. And then yours truly as the business guy. Our objective is to raise 500,000 on a convertible note. We have already 300,000 committed, and we are still looking for 200,000 euros. And our goal is to get from problem solution fit to product market fit and grow the revenue from 4K per month to 50K per month by the end of next year. And how do we plan to spend the money? We want to fix some of the manual processes we have. We have been doing things that don't scale, so we want to automate many things. And then our growth engine, SEO, is practically non-existent apart from the user-generated content. So we want to hire an SEO guy, and then we want to fix our UI and have somebody who is actually American doing the copywriting instead of me, a guy from Tuupovara, Finland. So that's it. That's my pitch. Thank you.
Thank you, Jack. Let me start with the model. That's a B2C model.
Correct.
How do you acquire your customers?
Organically on Google. People find us on Google. So if you pull your mobile phone and you search for Walmart complaints or Home Depot complaints, we are pretty high in the rankings.
So, but in terms of, let's say, I want to make a literally, how does it work? If I want to make a complaint to, I don't know, any Tesla, how does it work? What I should do?
Well, at the moment, we have limited the possibility to file complaints to 500 businesses, but we plan to open so that you can file a complaint about any business. But it's very simple. You go on our website, you file the complaint, you give us your contact details, and then you make the payment, $9 to $15 flat fee. And then we escalate your complaint via email. We email your complaint straight to the escalations department. So basically, it's somebody higher up from the US actually contacting you instead of a frontline customer service agent in a call center. And we only operate in the US market at the moment.
But that's okay. In terms, but the fee is almost $10. Am I right?
Depending on the business, it's from $9 to $15 at the moment.
How do you scale this business? Because you already have pretty many users, or let's call clients. And but to go to the millions, you need a lot of them. So are you sure you want to keep with the B2C, or you want to also use in the B2B service
Well,
somehow?
definitely B2C, because we started with B2B business model, and we discovered that there are not that many businesses who have themselves identified that we have a problem with complaint resolution software or processes. But when we switched to B2C, we instantly noticed that there are many, many consumers who are looking for ways to escalate complaints. It's their number one priority. And when we pivoted, we actually had a part-time developer working for 1 day per week. It was me who sold my apartment and I was doing all the other work. So I did shitloads of manual work. And then I hired a new team and got a little bit of bridge funding. And then we built our service from the ground up. And that's why we still have these manual processes. And now we get to the stage where we can start automating things and hopefully decreasing the price. However, we have been receiving tips up to $100 from these customers. They have been so happy after using our service that they are happy to tip us. So I believe that when we get the filing fee, let's say to $9 on average, and then there could be some sort of small success fee or tip at the end, that scales the revenue. But in terms of customer acquisitions, we have people who have told us that they are writing reviews for us. They have advocated us to their friends. We have people emailing us, how can we work for you? We have people asking us that, how can I help you? So this is something that really touches people because they are so frustrated. And there are literally Facebook groups like AT&T complaints, American Homestead complaints, Tesla complaints. Consumers are already gathering together because they are so frustrated. So there's a huge amount of people looking for ways how to resolve their issues. So I think this is a huge opportunity.
It is massive, absolutely, and there is so much you can do. But how can you incentivize these guys to raise their complaint? Because now many, me included, I don't do complaint because I don't have one day to spend for a complaint. So the reward from the complaint for me is much less than keep going, and this is what is. I believe many companies they know this, they know how the brand works, and they know that everyone will give up because the process is too long, and many times you don't get anything back. So if you have someone who facilitates, makes a lot of sense. But how can you incentivize this guy to do the complaint? Because I'm going to do it for you.
You mean the consumer?
Yeah.
Well, it's fairly easy. You have two choices. You can do it yourself. You can call customer service and be alone, trying to fight against a huge corporation. Or number two, you can pay us a small fee with zero risk. We escalate your complaint. We fight for you. And we have a website which is public domain. So businesses know that there is a public complaint, but they have an opportunity to fix the issue and get rewarded. And then we also say to businesses that we make you, the consumer, feel seen, heard, and understood, which means that the business can that they also benefit. But getting consumers to use our service is not that hard because they have been trying to contact the business directly themselves. They have tried to use Better Business Bureau and other stuff, other services, and they have been disappointed. So it's not that hard to convince consumers actually. However, our website does have some trust issues. If you look at our user interface, it's not perfect yet. It's not been designed by a designer because we were like bootstrapping. And now we have a new front end that is coming. And there are many trust elements missing from our website. So we want to add them. So basically it's the goal is for us to increase conversions, but we don't need to convince. If you interview any people in the US that would you pay $9 to if somebody escalates your complaint, they will tell you that yes, they will.
I mean, I will do now, right now. You are very much touching a very huge pain point. So the problem is there, absolutely, and you must only adopt the right solution, which you already have. Of
Yeah.
course, you have been bootstrapping so far. You can do what you can do when you bootstrap, but you already have a decent traction. Actually, you have a good traction. So there is a lot of job that can be done. How do you scale this business to the way that a venture capitalist would like to see?
How do we scale? Well, first of all, we need to fix those basic issues that I mentioned, and we need to automate some of the manual steps that we have. And then we need to eliminate some of the steps by creating a self-service. What I mean with that is that now when you file the complaint, and if you don't get an immediate resolution and you want to follow up, you actually email us instead of following up directly with the business. So we want to establish a better communication channel for you with the business. Then, of course, we want to get media attraction and earned media coverage because, for example, when I interviewed the founder of AirHelp, which helps you to get compensated if your flight is delayed or late, they told me, and I've seen this with many other consumer advocacy businesses, that they get loads of earned media coverage. And when you get that, your authority grows in the eyes of businesses, in the eyes of consumers, and in the eyes of search engines, meaning algorithms. So we want to focus on PR, but I do know that PR is not a sustainable user acquisition model in the long run. So we also want to experiment how we can use our existing customers, because what we are trying to build here is a consumer movement. And as I mentioned before, many consumers are asking us already how they can help us. So we want to have these people writing about us on Reddit, Facebook groups, Quora, Twitter, anywhere. So those are the things we want to do to scale this up.
What's the timing between complaining and getting the resolution?
It varies a lot between businesses. Some businesses actually resolve the issues in like 24 hours. With some businesses, we need to follow up a couple of times before they resolve. But I would say that one of the learnings for us has been that it's not actually the speed of resolution that matters the most. What matters the most is that you get to resolution at some point and you don't feel that you're alone. It's really emotional for consumers. Let's say you have bought kitchen remodeling. You paid $30,000 and you don't get anywhere with customer service. Then you have an advocacy service helping you and you get to talk to escalations department. You're getting somewhere. At that stage, you feel that we have done our part. Even if the business comes back to you and says that, hey, we offer you, let's say 20,000 instead of 30,000, you're not satisfied, but you got the outcome, at least to some extent. These people are not asking for refunds. Sometimes they're even tipping us.
Many complaints, for example, always they end with a resolution after 2 years' time, probably. Give me, for example, the ticket back or 50% of the ticket back. Are you taking a portion? Probably not now, but in the future, are you going to take any portion of, for example, the paying back given?
We need to test that. Um, when you ask about scaling, the way I see it is that, and this is not tested, this is not validated, but my hypothesis is that if we can keep the filing fee low, and if we insert a voluntary tip, then people know that they have no risk of using our service and they can tip us as much as they want. It's really safe and secure. We could also test success fee in the sense that, let's say you pay us 15% or 20% of the outcome, which many services already do. But then you get different issues with that sometimes. We've interviewed quite a few founders who have used this business model, but that's something we could also do. But then, of course, we need to understand and know how to, or basically, we need to be able to know what the actually monetary transaction is. And some shady businesses like Ryanair, I've learned, they do everything in their power basically to make sure that the mediator is not the one who is handling the money. But we'll see.
For this round, what investors are looking for?
So we have 3,000 already committed. So we are still looking for 200,000. So ideally, somebody who has lived in the US or lives in the US and has passion for customer service or consumer internet to some extent. Why do I say American people or people who have lived there? They typically understand the problem, the scope of the problem, the market, and the opportunity. People in Europe have different or questions about this, so it's just easier to grasp, especially because we focus on the US market for the next couple of years at least.
So your market will be US for the next 24 months.
At least I think so. We'll see, depending on how fast this grows. But you have like 350 million people in the US, and if you want to dominate that market first, it's not going to happen overnight. And then after you have been able to conquer that market, it's easier to expand to other markets. But it would be fairly stupid to get to some extent and start expanding before dominating, because that would leave the door open for somebody else in the US to come. So we want to achieve escape velocity, if you know the blitzscaling term.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if when you start, you must be focused on one market at the very
Yeah,
beginning. Be
and
key.
potentially even one or two categories in that market. And for us, the home category has been the biggest so far. So we might actually even narrow our focus in the, let's say, first 6 or 12 months, but we'll see.
The best elevator pitch in 20 seconds, convincing investors who invest in your startup.
Um, our vision is to build a service you can use to resolve any issue with any business. In the US, you have tens of millions of people who are looking for ways to escalate complaints, and they are not happy with the existing solutions. The market leader is Better Business Bureau. They take money from businesses, so consumers don't believe that Better Business Bureau is on your side. And we want to disrupt Better Business Bureau. They are $250 million in revenue on an annual basis.
Jack, thank you so much for coming to the Founder Talk. It's been a
Thank
pleasure.
you.
Thank you.